The main streets of Tully was ripped apart early this morning as shop awnings and forest debris hurtled down the road. Some of the town's 2,500 residents left for safer ground last night. Some who stayed spent the night huddled in their cars, fearing for their lives. Paul Lockyer visited the town today.
For a full 12 hours, the people of Tully huddled in their homes, or any shelter they could find, as the cyclone roared through the town. It disintegrated around them. Street by street, the images tell the story. Amid the wreckage of homes and businesses, trees plucked out of the ground or stripped bare by the gale force winds.
Oh, terrible. Terrible. Never seen anything like it in my life.
I've been through Winifred and Larry, and all the forecasts were very good, and they let us know it was going to be pretty terrible, and it lived up to what the expectations they had.
Outside town, the disastrous sight of flattened banana crops. Most of Australia's bananas are grown here, and the crop destruction is on a scale of that of Cyclone Larry 5 years ago. As the cyclone swept across the farming land to Tully, it left coastal communities in ruin. At Port Hinchinbrook, a marina, now a multi-million-dollar junkyard. Boats smashed together by the force of the wind and the storm surge. A trail of destruction that swept 20 kilometres from the coast to bring all its force to bear on one town. Here in Tully, which felt the full force of the cyclone, what's remarkable is that there isn't even more damage to the buildings here. Even more remarkable, no reports of any casualties. Two of the survivors, Ross and Margaret Sabello. And Ross, how did you survive the night?
Well, I think it was a miracle. I certainly do. As the full force took over and we had to come down and shelter, the roller door blew out, and the only safe refuge then was in a vehicle. So yes, I think it was sheer luck more than anything. Yes.
So you spent the entire night in the vehicle?
Yes, we did, and we even had to change vehicles because the rear the rear roller door blew out, and then the front one blew out, and when both blew out, we had to jump from a Camry to a Hilux and back up to the door to stop it from blowing open. So, and that's where we stayed from about 3 o'clock onwards.
How terrifying was the wind?
Very, very terrifying, very noisy, and we could hardly hear ourselves, hear each other talking, and it was just so loud. Frightening, terrible. I don't want to go through that again, ever.
Well, were there moments there, Margaret, whether you wondered whether you get out of it alive?
Yes, a couple of times, yeah. Because of those doors, if they'd have hit us or let go when we were changing vehicles, would have been the end.
And reporter Francine Norton is in Tully tonight. Francine, what's it like today seeing the damage firsthand?
Well, David, we started the day off in Cairns, which came out of the cyclone pretty okay, but the further we drove south, the worse the damage got. There were just entire banana plantations just snapped in half like twigs all along the way. When we finally managed to get into Mission Beach, I was just astonished at the amount of the damage. There was just debris everywhere. There were power lines down everywhere. Entire tree trunks had just been washed up into people's front yards. I've never seen so many coconuts just strewn across the place. And the damage to people's homes has been quite indiscriminate. One house would be fine, and then the one right next door would be missing its roof or missing its walls. And coming here to Tully, the damage is even worse, if that's even possible. People have just been dazed and amazed at how ruined the town looks, and people don't know where to start. It's quite heartbreaking to see.
So what next for these damaged towns?
Well, for the authorities, they're still assessing the extent of the damage in some of these places, but their first priority, well, one of them is going to be to get power back on to places like Tully and to clear all of the roads. And for residents, it's about clearing all of the debris from inside their homes and around their homes and to secure their homes. But, David, this is a massive job for everyone. It's going to take months and years.
OK, Francine Norton there in Tully, thank you very much.